Continuing coverage now of a Fox News alert. A 5-year-old boy pulled from that Alabama bunker alive, while his captor has now been confirmed dead.
Officers say the boy was not hurt, but is being locked in a bunker with a stranger for nearly a week. That's got to take its toll on a person. And how's he going to go on the rest of his life dealing with that sort of trauma? Forensic psychiatrist and Fox News contributor Dr. Keith Ablow joins us now live. Good morning to you, Keith.
Good morning.
The FBI had a briefing yesterday. They said this little 5-year-old, Ethan, we don't know his last name, was reunited with his mother at a local hospital. He was, quote, laughing, joking, playing, eating, normal things that 5- or 6-year-olds do.
Yeah, well, those are normal things that 5- or 6-year-olds do, but they're also the things that 5- or 6-year-olds do when they're desperately trying to maintain some semblance of normality. Psychiatry is all about what's really happening inside, and I can tell you that the effort to maintain that sense of normality in and of itself can set the stage for all kinds of trouble down the road. So, as sad as it is, Ethan isn't okay. He's at tremendous risk for depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, alcohol and drug abuse later in life, fractured relationships, all manner of disabilities from psychological problems.
Dr. Ablow, I'm assuming if the FBI and law enforcement people had this sort of surveillance going on and they had a camera so they could see inside this bunker, that we would assume that nothing else nefarious was going on, or they would have gone in earlier.
I don't know how they would balance the risks to this young boy's life versus whatever other traumas he might have been exposed to. But the traumas we know of, witnessing or being present at the shooting death of his bus driver,
right,
being whisked away from the life of normality he had into a life of chaos, being underground, and then witnessing the death of his captor. All of these things, so unexplained, can shatter somebody's sense of anything being predictable in life.
Sure. The fellow who took the kid hostage, Jimmy Lee Dykes, a decorated Vietnam War vet, that's his picture right there. He was strongly and vocally anti-government. He threatened to kill anybody who came on his property. He would patrol his property at night with a flashlight looking for people. Are those red flags that somebody should have connected some dots and said, that guy's got some problems?
Gee, you think? And there'll be people, by the way, who say this is an argument for more gun control. Those people are reprehensible because the bottom line is this guy had a hearing for menacing coming up. You mean to say the court couldn't have connected the dots between that and the fact that his neighbors said that he had threatened kids' lives and that he had beaten a dog to death with a pipe and said, we're holding you in the psychiatric unit for an evaluation against your will?
Dr.
Really?
Ablow, why don't they do that? Because we were having this discussion earlier in the show about how this is a comprehensive, complicated problem. The gun violence that we're seeing in our nation, combined with mental illness and the inability to do what you're discussing right now, to try to help people who suffer from mental illness.
Yeah, why don't they do it? Because doing the right thing takes work, and it takes not pontificating and trying to make political points by saying we're going to take everybody's guns. So the bottom line is we deconstructed our mental health care system beginning in the 70s.
You're right.
There is very little, if any, connection between the judicial system and the mental health care system, and obvious people who need help aren't given that help when we could deliver it because we have the expertise, but we're not willing to allocate resources, partly out of stigma and partly out of the fact that people would rather try to pander to certain voting blocks by saying it's all about guns.
It didn't have to
Which
happen.
it isn't.
Right. Dr. Keith Ablow, today joining us from Boston. Thank you very much.
Take care,